Okay, the next trend, focus on mental well-being in the garden. I think we've all can appreciate this one. With all the craziness in the world right now happening, we all need to focus on how it can help us be a more positive person and to just sometimes even just get through the day. And it can be as something as simple as just setting out some chairs in the garden. I took this photo years ago at an Airbnb I had stayed in, and I just loved it. This is the most relaxing and casual. Even looking at this photo makes me feel more relaxed and casual. But it's not only embracing something that I think all of us here today know how it reduces stress and reduces anxiety and it improves your mood. But there's so many more aspects to this, like you can have potential faster recovery. That's actually being proven by studies. If you've got illnesses, for example, and I wanted to mention this book here. This has been out since 2000, I think 14, The Cancer Survivor's Garden Companion. And I love this book. And that's actually a photo of me in the corner. I'm in the book. The worst photos that I've ever taken in my life are in this book. And it's because I went through cancer. And so my friend wrote this book and she needed some, real photos of cancer patients. But it talks about, this book is excellent. And it just talks about the healing powers. And if you're sick and not feeling good and how you can still get out in the garden and let it help nourish you. But besides the healing aspect of gardening, different groups of people experience unique advantages of the garden. Elderly people, they show that they have improved health ratings and social engagement when they're out in the garden, even working at a community garden. Dementia patients experience kind of reduced agitation and increased awareness. The list goes on and on. And I also put in the notes, I don't know if many of you have seen this documentary on Netflix. It's amazing, called Blue Zones. It's such a good documentary. And basically they're highlighting different zones throughout the whole world where people live to be really old, 100 years and up, and what commonalities each of these very random parts of the world have that can contribute to this. One of those commonalities is gardening, which is so interesting. No matter where it is in the world, those who garden live longer. Princeton did a study on this based in Minneapolis that I think I had linked to. There's so many studies out there that link to gardening helping, whether you're older, whether you're sick, whether you have dementia, helps you live longer, helps you heal faster.
Rebecca, you were listening to a radio program. I'd like to interject your thoughts you shared earlier on that about gratitude.
Yeah.
And this ties into you were mentioning the thinking of the gratitude actually changing the cell makeup of our minds. And the garden, what a great place to practice gratitude, right?
Right, right. I just listened to this today. This morning, I was going to the grocery store, and it was an interview, and Denise thinks that it might be the same person who actually did a TED talk on this. And she was with she's a professor with Gonzaga College in Washington. Her name is Dr. Monica Bartlett, and she teaches the Positive Emotion and Social Behavior Lab there. So you can look that up. It was an amazing thing I listened to. And I love, of course, it's wonderful being, filled with gratitude. And it's not something that I naturally lean towards talking to people about. It's like, okay, I know. I feel gracious about everything. What's really interesting about this is the study's proven that if every single day you think of 3 things, and they can be really tiny things, that you're gracious for and the person who did it. So not just so much being great, oh, I'm so grateful for this beautiful garden that I have, but I'm really grateful for my neighbor next door who gave me these seeds many years ago. Or I'm grateful for that person who let me cut in line while driving. They let me in. by doing just 3 things a day and writing them down, you literally change the way your brain thinks. You're rewiring your brain. And then you start looking for the positive in your day-to-day experiences instead of looking for the negative, which is what we tend to see more often than the positive. And yeah, I think it's perfect for this, and I'm glad you all let me talk about it for a minute, because anything that I can do to rewire my brain to be happier and more positive is great. So that's my New Year's resolution, actually, is to start one of these journals.